State your name and your subject.
I'm Mr. Diller. I teach math and computer science.
What was life like for you in the 90s?
In the 90s, I graduated from high school in 91, and then I went to college at SC4 and U of M, and then I got married and had a kid, all in the 90s.
How old were you in the 90s? Like your age range?
Yeah, I was, when the 90s started, I was 17, and then I was 27. Oh, and we had Y2K also. That was to deal with.
What was your favorite movie from the 90s?
Jurassic Park. I saw Jurassic Park about 28 times in the theater.
And what was your favorite song and band?
Two of my favorite bands now started in the 90s, Weezer and the Foo Fighters. But during the 90s, I think I just sort of liked like grunge music in total. So there's Nirvana and Smashing Pumpkins and Soundgarden and Foo Fighters started and other ones that I can't think of right now.
All right, thank you. State your name and subject.
My name is Mrs. Gray, and I teach English.
What was your life like in the 90s?
A lot easier than today. A lot of time playing with friends in the street, believe it or not. I mean, not much different than a typical high school life, just no phones, no computers.
How old were you in the 90s?
I was in high school.
All right. And what was your favorite movie from them?
It's not actually a 90s movie, it's an 80s movie, but The Breakfast Club.
And what was your favorite song and band?
Favorite band is Counting Crows, and favorite song is Anna Begins by Counting Crows.
Thank you.
Kids and, doing all that sort of thing.
And how old were you in the 90s?
Well, I was born in 1965, so I would have been 25 in 1990. And then,
Yeah.
25 to 35.
And what was your favorite movie?
Gosh, I can't remember. Think of some movies that came out in the 90s.
I don't even know. Like Clueless. I mean, it could be a movie that you watched today that was out from then.
Let me see. Movies is back then. Like MTV was good. They were good music videos, and I feel like I didn't watch TV that much. Like when my kids were little, I always had like either a kid song CD in the CD player or MTV on, listening to music. I did that way more than watch movies. And there were some really good videos that were like any of the the Aerosmith stuff with Alicia Silverstein. Those were good. I enjoyed that way more than movies.
What was your favorite song or band?
I've always loved Tom Petty. 80s, 90s. Yeah, that was always a big one. And then I went through my hair metal phase, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses. Just enjoyed that type of thing.
All right, thank you.
I was student teaching when Guns N' Roses came out with Appetite for Destruction. And I remember the kids were like, oh my God, Miss Fox, or I wasn't Miss Fox and I was Miss Likens. They're like, did you hear this? And I just started hearing it, and they were super into it, and it was good. And I wasn't that much older than them, so I was starting to listen to it too, but it was super good.
All right, thank you.
You're
All right, state your name and subject.
Roger Beaton, business and accounting.
What was life like for you in the 90s?
Life for me in the 90s was pretty good because I got married, my son was born, and I had a really good job. And then during that time, I decided that I was going to go back to school and become a teacher. So I went and worked in the private sector for a good portion of the 90s, and then went back to Wayne State, got my teaching certification, and ended up teaching starting here in 98.
All right. And how old were you in the 90s?
Oh, now you're dating me. I would have been in my 30s in the 90s.
And what was your favorite movie at that time?
Oh man, my favorite movie of the 90s. I got it. 1995, Forrest Gump.
Oh,
Best movie ever. To this day, I love that movie.
yeah, that's really good.
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, state
All right.
your name and subject.
Mrs. Stilson, geometry and advanced algebra and trig.
All right. What was your life like for you in the 90s?
In the 90s, I had just graduated high school and went to college. So, it's hip. Yeah, I don't know. It was hanging out with your friends for sure. That's what we did, hanging out with our friends all the time.
All right. How old were you in the 90s?
I was ending my teens, beginning my 20s.
All right. And what was your favorite movie at that time?
Top Gun was huge, but I think that came out like late 80s. But that was still a big movie. Risky Business. When did that come out? That was a big one. That might have been 80s though. I should be looking this up. I have these. Oh, For the Love of the Game. That was a good one. That was I can't think of his name right now though. What is his name? Oh, Days of Thunder. That was a good one too. Kevin Costner was in For the Love of the Game. Days of Thunder. That was a really good one. That was a Tom Cruise. He was going to be a NASCAR driver. Tombstone. Oh, that's so good. That one's really good. Tombstone's really, really good. Oh, the first Mission Impossible. Oh, A Few Good Men. Oh my God, Tom Cruise had so many good movies. Yeah. That's a good one too. Yeah, okay. There you go.
And what was your favorite song or band?
Oh, Lord. Well, now, so it's gonna be bad. Music of the 90s. Okay, so I listened to a lot of like TLC, Salt and Pepper. Pepper. You gotta do it. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, that was good stuff. All of that sort of stuff. Wasn't a big Spice Girls fan. TLC for sure. Did like Backstreet Boys. I did not like REM. No, not a fan. Boys to Men. But more, Ace of Base, that was good. NSYNC. Yeah, so TLC, a bunch of those, girls rap. Let me see. It's so weird. Because it's nothing like a hardcore rap, but girls rap 90s. There we go. Yeah, Destiny's Child, TLC, Salt and Pepper. Yeah. Yeah, those are good ones. Queen Latifah. Yeah, that's all good. Okay.
All right, thank you.
That's it?
So state your name.
Paul Short II.
Okay. What was your life like for you in the 90s?
Well, I mean, I was a kid, so I was going to elementary school, and then for the last bit of the 90s, I was in middle school, because I graduated from like our 8th grade thing, like 99, 2000.
How old were you in the 90s?
So 1990, I was 5, and then so by the end of 1999, I think I was like 14. Yeah.
What was your favorite movie then?
Oh, my favorite movie. I probably have to go with Dumb and Dumber or Forrest Gump.
So Mr. Beaton said. What was your favorite song or band?
Ooh, I would say that would be a tie between like Green Day and the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay. Thank you. So state your name and subject.
My name is Robert York, and I teach most chemistries and some physics.
What was your life like in the 90s?
It was fun. I was only about 10 to like my early teens, so playing at the park, playing sports, spending time with my family, vacations, enjoying elementary school and middle school, all those fun things.
What was your favorite movie in the 90s?
Jurassic Park.
And what was your favorite song or band?
Back in the 90s, it was definitely Michael Jackson or Madonna due to my parents.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, could you state your name and subject?
Mr. Pete Fox, U.S. History and World History teacher.
Okay, what was life like for you in the 90s?
Well, we just got married. We had our first kids. Lived up in Port Huron. There was a time when there was a rash of gang violence in PH, so we moved to Minnesota.
What was your favorite movie in the 90s?
Last of the Mohicans.
Okay. And what was your favorite song or band?
90s?
Yeah.
Probably Rock Set. Must have been love, but I don't know that.
All right, thank you.